Guru, the guide to God. It's a very important subject, a subject that is very dear to my heart, because if it were not for the Guru, the Master, I just don't know what would have happened to me. And I know there are many that can say the same thing. As our hearts respond and we feel the need for something more than this earthly existence can give us, God responds. And He responds through a channel. That's the law. You may think it's unnecessary. It is necessary. That a channel is given to you by which channel you can return home once more to the Father. God does not speak. He's silent. But He sometimes, and quite often, sometimes severely speaks through the channel. Because the channel of God, a real channel, is impartial. There's no personality in it, in the ordinary sense of the word. There is divine love which far exceeds personality. But there's no personal feeling in what you receive from the Guru. The direction is given from God, because a true Guru is one who knows God. Understand that. A true Guru is one who knows God. And so we must have a Guru. Why? There are two main reasons. The first one is because the Guru knows the way to God. It's as simple as that. He is a realized soul sent by God to help you to return back home to Him. Therefore, the first reason is that the Guru knows God. He knows the way. He's been the way. He's traveled the path. He can help us because he knows. Let us discuss that first question or answer to why we should have a Guru. The Guru knows the way. Now, there are teachers and there is one Guru. There are many teachers, but there is only one Guru. The teachers will help us in many ways. They come in response to vague desires within us, till we feel a pulling at our heart to there's something we are missing, something we must attain. And that brings to us teachers or different organizations and societies and books. How many of us have read books and books and books and books and books? Why? Because there's fomenting within us a desire. But when the real desire comes to know God without question, and you are not satisfied with anything else, then God responds and sends you one channel. Understand that. There are many teachers. There's one channel to God. I have found this so, and I know many here in this room will tell you the same thing. I can tell you only of my own experience, because that's all I know. And you too must experience it. You can listen to someone else, read books, but until you get right down and follow the teachings of the Guru or the channel which God has sent to you, you will not know. But if you will sincerely follow the channel God has sent to you, you too will know absolutely without question of a doubt. So understand the difference between teachers and the Guru. The Guru is only one, and as I have said, he comes, or the channel comes, in response to the cries of your heart and soul for God. Then God responds. And so the Guru is from God. He is a direct response from the Infinite Father. Our Master has said this: a Guru is a vehicle of God who uses his body, speech, and mind and spirituality to bring the lost souls back to their home of immortality. So you see how clearly the Master puts it. The Guru is a response, a vehicle of God who uses, that is, the Guru uses his body, his speech, and his mind, plus his spirituality. Don't forget that. Master often said, my body is a ransom for many. And many, many he has helped. So much that his body was racked by the efforts for others. That's what he meant when he said, my body is a ransom for many. You see, God works in certain ways. The law is as God wants it, not as we think it should be. Many think that the channel of God would not be touched by others' ills and troubles. That can be so, but sometimes it isn't so. In the case of St. Francis and our Master, they suffered, but still, while they were suffering, they were lifting people up, showing them the way back home to God, and performing miracles. So remember, God does it his way, and we as his children must bend to the will of the infinite Father. And so the Master uses, or a true guru uses his body, mind, and speech to help take these struggling devotees back home to God. He also uses his spirituality, and this is very important. What is a guru's spirituality? It is that part of him that supersedes or goes beyond this worldly existence. Many people say, well, the guru is gone. What of it? Is Jesus' spirituality gone just because he isn't with us? Is St. Francis' spirituality missing because St. Francis isn't with us? No, it's greater. So, with our beloved Master, his spirit is more active right now because his spirituality transcends this worldly existence. Don't be sidetracked by those who say your guru is not here. Is St. Francis here? Is Jesus Christ here in the sense of his body? So with our Master. All saints are one in the omniscience of God. All saints are one in the great omniscience of God, and that is all-pervading. God knows the sparrows fall. He knows the needs of each and every one of us through the channel he has sent. That's the law. We must realize it. And so the need for a guru is considered by some to be uniquely of Hindu custom and tradition. This is not so. It is not altogether true. The Hindus have gurus, but so has everyone else who wants to know God. It is a universal necessity to have a channel whereby you can return home to God. You must have someone who has found the way back to God. And if you follow the teachings of a true guru, as I have found our Master and many others have, those teachings contain in them his great spiritual power and the power of the omniscience of God, which will lead you back home to him. And therefore, it is not necessarily a Hindu custom, although it originated there, so to speak, because India is an old spiritual country and the spiritual truths have been preserved, and that's one of them. But it is universally so to have a guru, and it applies to everybody. I think in America, I've seen some of the most devoted souls who have followed the Master and are following him to the letter. And they're not Hindus, they're Americans. But in God's great omniscience, we're all the same. How could it be only for Hindus, uniquely for Hindus, a tradition of India? That is not so. God is not partial. Thank goodness for that. God is universal. He's in the heart of each and every one of us. He's in our consciousness. He's in our senses. In all things is the one God. Therefore, his law of having a channel to return home to him is universally true. Let us understand that. Now we come to the second reason why we need a guide or a guru. Second reason is this, that the guru is ordained by God through spiritual law as your guide and my guide. Understand that. That is so, just like 2 and 2 make 4, that's the law, so the spiritual law is that God ordains certain souls to lead you back home because you've appealed to him. You've appealed to God to listen to you send you the way that you might return home to him, and so he does it. And so the second reason why you need a guru is that the guru is ordained by God through spiritual law. Do not forget that. Our master's words, that is Sri Yukteswarji's words to our master, are most wonderful. And yet they are so simple. And every true guru will tell his disciples the same thing. So Sri Yukteswarji said to our master, I shall be your friend forever, because God asked me to bring you home. Isn't that wonderful? I shall be your friend forever, because God asked me to bring you home. And so, to find God, we must first find the channel. We must first find the channel. And so, when you truly want him, he sends you the channel, because God is right within your thoughts and my thoughts. And as we learned in our Bible lesson this morning, that Jesus, in the Old Testament as Elisha, found the way to God through his guru, Elijah. And Elijah cast his mantle of spirit upon him. Why? Because without that mantle of spirit, Elisha would not have been able to conceive or know or perceive God. That's what the guru does. The guru knows God. You become equal to him. Imagine it. Can a teacher give you that? An ordinary teacher? No. But a true child of God, as the guru, can give it to you. So that lesson this morning was most wonderful. The guru is necessary. When I first met the master years ago in 1920 in Unity House in Boston, and there I sat and he showed me the 1,000-petal lotus of the brain, the most beautiful thing. Could I have gotten that alone, do you think? No. I am fully convinced the guru is necessary. Another time up in the Hermitage in Encinitas, we were out walking on the lawn early in the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock. Master said, let's go in and have a little something to eat. So we went in and he cooked just a few little vegetables in the kitchen. And we sat down and they were just simple vegetables. And my, how wonderful it tasted. So I ate them. He was in high spirits. He looked kind of peculiar that morning, kind of looking into space. And when I went to my room, down at the end of the hall, I came in the room, and the room was all light. Soft light there. The next morning I told him about it. He said, yes, he said, I was pretty much in God when I cooked those vegetables. So these are facts. The guru is necessary to give you God, I am sure of that. And so, we do not want any self-appointed gurus following the voice of imagination and books and so forth, and their subconscious minds. That subconscious mind can make the greatest guru you ever saw. Don't follow it. Follow one who knows God. There are many gurus walking around who don't know what it's all about, let alone being a guru. We don't want that. We want a true guru sent to us from God, and that's what we will get. When I first met the master, just like Sri Yukteswarji spoke to our master, what was the first thing the master said to me back there in Boston a long time ago? He sat me down and he says, Doctor, will you love me as I love you? Will you always love me as I love you? That's the bond between the disciple and the guru, the unconditional love of God, without any questions, without any reservations. That's the bond which ties you to God through the channel, unconditional love, without any reservations. So that's the kind of a guru we want. And a true guru is one who is ordained by God through another guru, like Sri Yukteswarji was the guru of our master. And so our master received that commission, so to speak, through that channel of another guru. The other way is that the guru is ordained and hears the voice of God telling him directly, which doesn't happen too much, but there have been some great gurus as you read religious history. He is ordained directly by the voice of God telling him to bring others back home to him. Those are the two ways in which a true guru is commissioned, so to speak. We don't want these half-hearted gurus. We do not want them. self-appointed gurus, the Master calls them. We want God through the channel which God wants us to have. And so let us realize that the true guru comes from God in response to your soul cries, and that the true guru is dynamically one with God. Understand that. Dynamically one with God. And there are not many teachers that are that way. And as I have said, this relationship between the guru and the disciple, the true guru and disciple, is most beautiful. There are no restrictions on it, no conditions, based on the unconditional love of God. As Master said to me, he didn't start off any other way. He said, will you always love me as I love you? And I looked and I saw something I hadn't seen before. Sri Yukteswarji told him, I will love you always. And if I fall, will you lift me up once more unto the lap of omnipresence? That's the true guru's attitude, based on the unconditional love of God. Nothing else. Now, when I met the true guru back in 1920, the load lifted off my shoulders. A great weight lifted off. When he said those words, will you love me as I love you? And I said, yes. He went like that. I take charge of your life. Well, I didn't know what was coming, but I found out a little later. But the load lifted, that I'm sure of. Great weight lifted. And it has been away from that weight has been lifted ever since. There have been many trials and plenty of them. Don't forget that. But that load has never returned. That's what the true guru, the voice of God, can give to you and will give to each one who will try to really and sincerely find God. God responds through the right channel, and to many of us that channel is the channel of self-realization fellowship. Master's words were so wonderful. In several of his writings, he has said some nice things. I know I consider him the voice of God because his words have come true, every one of them. He has never failed me. That's why I consider him the voice of God. And having that confidence and remembering his words that he has said to me, I fear nothing. I have no anxiety as to the future. That's what the presence of God through the true guru will give to you and everyone if you follow it. And I know he said in one of his writings, he said, realize that at the end of the trail, when you need me most, I'll be there. Remember that. Will each one of you remember those words? Who are sincerely following self-realization fellowship and the true channel which our Master is. At the end of the trail, when you need me most, you will find me there to guide you and to lift you from this bodily vehicle into the kingdom of light, where there is no parting and no conditions to our existence. That's one of the things the Master has written to me. Another little word he wrote, don't forget that he is your Father. The same Father which the Guru has is your Father, because the Guru is one with him. He is your Father, infinitely kind to you more than anybody else. Forsake all, but never leave his side. Let us remember those words. Forsake all else, but never God's side. Then this is another thing he said. Anyway, do not forget, I am with you as God is. That's what a true guru can say, and you know it's so. A teacher cannot give you that. Anyway, do not forget, I am with you as God is. Isn't that wonderful? Think of what we have through the grace of God to give us solace and sustain us. And then he used to end his letters, boundless love encircle you and protect you and yours ever and ever. I'd rather have the goodwill of the Guru than anything, because the Guru is the voice of God. Having that, you fear nothing. You have no anxiety, because you know God is with you through the channel which he has sent to you. Finally, Once the establishment, the true guru-disciple establishment, once the true guru discipleship is established, I get so enthused I don't feel like talking about it. But once that is established, you can expect these three main things. First is that the disciple is ever watched over by the guru. Ever watched over. In this plane or in the next plane. I had many instances of that. I cannot take time to tell you, perhaps just one or so, that I was out in a terrific storm. I have spoken to you about it before. And when I was out in the storm, I had nowhere to go, no place to go but to the Guru and God. He knew it immediately, and he responded and took care of me. Definite proofs of the presence of God came, the spiritual eye came, and he knew at the time and saw what was happening. I found this out and substantiated it later. Another time I was ill, very ill. I had no place to go because I couldn't cope with it. And so I just, as you automatically do, give it to God and ask him to take care of you through the channel. It wasn't many hours before he appeared in the driveway from New York, got a hold of a car somewhere and came up to my summer home in Duxbury, Massachusetts, came in the driveway and began hollering my name, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Was I glad to see the Guru that day? And from that time on he took care of it. So these things I tell you just to show you that as far as I'm concerned, I'm satisfied. And I know that you all are in the same category. We are all God's children, and he is not partial, thank goodness for that. And he loves each one of us, just as he loves the greatest saint. How could he do otherwise if we are his consciousness and his love and his feeling? He loves each one of us. Why do we doubt him? The Guru is necessary because the Guru is the voice of God. Having that, you will fear nothing. You will have no anxiety whatsoever. Lord Shankara, the famous saint in India, one of the greatest saints, he spoke about the importance of the Guru. He spoke how important it was to have a Guru. I have here something which he said. The great Lord Shankara. He said, no known comparison exists in the 3 worlds for a true Guru. That's the importance of a true Guru. If the philosopher's stone be assumed as truly such, it can only turn iron into gold, not into another philosopher's stone. The venerated Guru, on the other hand, creates equality with himself in his disciple that takes refuge at his feet. The Guru is therefore peerless, nay, transcendental. So do not be disturbed because the Master is not with us. The Master is one who can make you equal to himself as he is in the omniscience of God. We have nothing to worry about. Laird Masha spoke about that point with these words. Many distant disciples of Laird Masha were aware of his enfolding presence. Time and space do not exist in the omniscience of God, where true Gurus dwell. I am ever with those that practice Kriya Yoga, he would say consolingly to Chelas that could not remain near him. I will guide you to the cosmic home through your ever-enlarging spiritual perception. The Guru has the perception of God, so the true Chela, or the disciple, will attain the same perception as the true Guru has. That's why the Guru is so important. That's why it is necessary to have the Guru as a guide.